Hey everybody, Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com. It's time for another open vault behind the scenes video. I got a lot of cool stuff to show you. So let's start with these. What you're seeing here are the bases. The models, of course, are awesome on these cobblestone square bases and on these marble bases and on these skull bases and scrappy bases. Oh, Deathwatch, what's that? That's right. Maybe by the time you're watching this, our Deathwatch narrative campaign is already out. If not, it's coming out at noon today, Eastern time. And it's awesome. I'm so excited for it. And of course, desert bases. So James has been hard at work making a lot of digital 3D printable bases for you guys to use. And they are now on pre-order. And you can get a huge deal if you get them while they're on pre-order. So we've got 11 sets of bases that there's like over 1,300 unique bases. So like even though there's a bunch of 40 mils or 32 mils or 25 mils, each one is unique. So you can have that variety. Now, obviously, with like the desert bases, there's less variety of them. But total of all of the 11 styles, there's over 1,300 unique bases. And so, of course, you know our desert. We've already released those, but we're going to include that in this package deal. And then we have cobblestone as well. Now, these were only available on square. Now they're available on circle as well. And then we got skulls as part of the first release. As you can see, they're pretty awesome. Skulls in blood, although it's just how you paint them. It could be skulls in acid or skulls in water, so it can be used for undead or corn or whatever you want. We got scrappy, which in this case they painted kind of nurgly with the green goo and stuff. That's what was used for the Deathwatch. And then we got these nice marble bases, which in this case is being used for some Slaanesh, but can easily be used for almost anything else. And there's a lot of other ones. I'm going to put a link in the description below, but go to miniwargaming.com/bases. Actually, let's show some of them to you right here. So included in this release are the Eldritch horror ones. And a close companion to these awesome bases is a Sci-Fi horror. I've already shown you the scrappy and the skulls and the cobblestone and the marble and the desert. But we also have these really nice wood ones. So once these are out of pre-order, we're going to be selling each individual set for $10 US on MyMiniFactory and MiniWarGamingForge.com. But during the pre-order, we're putting them all together in one big package. So you can get all the rounds, all the squares, or everything. So if you get all the rounds or all the squares, we're going to give you 50% off. And then Vault members, of course, can use your discount coupon that you can find in the Vault to get another 20% off of that. So you can get it for $55 instead of $110 when they come out. And if you want to go all in and get the squares and the circles, which would normally then cost you $110 to get both the packages, we'll give it to you for $88 for a total 60% off of the price. Some of them are available right now, so when you make the purchase, you'll get access to them. And then some of them we're still working on, but should be ready over the next couple of weeks. And we'll just kind of add them as they're done, and so you'll just get access to them. We do plan on doing print on demand as well. We're working on building up a resin print farm, although these can be mostly, for like 90% of them, printed in FDM. We have FDM and resin as well, where except for like some of the skull ones are just a little too detailed for FDM, although you're welcome to try. But everything else works perfectly fine on FDM. They're designed to do so. In fact, the cobblestone were actually printed on FDM. And so, let's actually point at them. And so they look pretty awesome. Steve has been using those for his fantasy. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about those because bases are fun, bases are awesome, and it's a good way for you to help support us if you want to, and also grab some cool stuff. So yeah, digital ones available now on MyMiniFactory, MiniWarGaming Forge, links below. And then we'll do print on demand soon. And let's wander around a bit and see what's going on today. And today being yesterday, because I filmed this the day before you're getting it. Let's see what's happening in this room.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Hello.
What's going to happen in this room?
We're debating on how to best go about this scenario.
I finished cleaning up from yesterday because I hadn't finished cleaning up. So, and now Luke is preparing to set up for a Age of Sigmar game today, but he's not sure how he wants to set the board up.
Yeah, it's like a Flesh Eater Court game trying to do the Flesh Eater Court scenario. There's a Mega Gargant body decaying in the middle of the board. And Josh suggests I find a squirrel, which is the same size.
Like go outside and just find a dead squirrel?
Well, because it requires you to have, like, around the body, you need the lungs of the Gargant, the intestines, the brain, and the liver. I find that hard to extract from the model.
You could always reskin it and use the 3D printed dragon, the skeleton dragon.
Oh, that's a good idea, actually. That's okay. Well,
That's pretty
get
good.
out of here with your logic. I like the squirrel idea better.
He wants blood and guts, though. He doesn't want bones.
I can just go to a butcher for
He's
that.
he's the flesh eater court. It's not the
I'm not. It's Corey. It's the Flesh
bone
Eater
stealer courts.
I am the
Yeah, that's fair. That's,
nondescript enemy army
you
nearby.
figure out what you're playing yet?
I'm just gonna play corn, probably play the corn.
Oh, so you need blood. and guts, not bones.
We're the one who killed the Gargant.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. There we go. We figured it out.
See?
The mission.
There you go.
Yeah, you're there for his blood.
And now you know how we do our narrative missions.
Pretty much, yeah. This is typical like morning conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it. That works.
Okay.
We saved a squirrel.
Speaking of narrative scenarios, Scary and I are going to be playing a game of 40K today. And like, you know what? This is going to be for, I always do a vault behind the scenes as well. And I have like one subject that we cover more. So the one that we're going to do today, and it's not going to be available yet. It's going to be available, oh shoot, yeah, that's right. Scary and I are going to have the conversation today, but you're not going to get it until the 40K one comes out. I just want to have like an in-depth conversation with him of like building a narrative scenario. So I want to talk a little bit about it right now. I'll give you kind of showing you behind the scenes us getting ready for the game, because, you know, we've got a table kind of set up, although I'm going to be having it change because this is leftover from a previous game. But, oh, you know what I'll do? I want to show you some of our new tables that I'm going to be using for the scenario. So I'm going to get this table set up and show it to you. So I'll be back in just a second. Actually, let's go see the people who are going to help me set up the table, because they're currently getting the printers going this morning. So let's talk about that, and then we'll go get the table set up. So lots is happening in the 3D printing forge. Hello, everybody. Say hi.
Morning.
I'm just going to go step over here, take a look in here. So we had an incredibly large amount of movement trays and movement tray converters sold over the past few months. And we expanded our print farm big time because of it. So thank you so much for everybody who's ordered those. And that's allowed us to expand it. And then we were able to catch up. So it took a little while. We were always a little behind, like 2 to 3 weeks and behind in orders. But now we're caught up. So if you place an order today, we would probably have it printed and sent out within a couple of days. Right now what we're printing are a bunch of Hex and Hills tiles, because Play on Tabletop is sponsoring Hex and Hills, and they're going to be building a really cool set of worlds for their narrative. They have like a narrative event happening. I think it's in June. And so we've even got some brand new Sci-Fi tiles. I can't show you here because we're going to be printing them soon, because they're getting ready for a Sci-Fi Hexton Hills Kickstarter. So they're all fantasy right now, and then like generic, like hills and mountains and stuff. But we're getting ready to do a Sci-Fi version as well, which is very, very exciting. Now the Kickstarter for that probably won't be until like September, but they're going to be at UK Games Expo, Hexton Hills, Graven Guild that is, showing off some of the new stuff, and so we'll have some of that soon as well. Coming in here, they're just getting lots printed for prize support for the narrative event that's happening for Play on Tabletop. So we're printing lots and lots of hexes. And but the big news is that we are going to be building a big resin print farm. So what you're going to see pretty soon within the next month is this wall. Actually, no, it's going to be this wall of FDM printers is going to be moved into this room, and then all this stuff is going to be going upstairs. And we'll be setting up a new inventory and printing area. The gaming hall, unfortunately, is going to cease to be a gaming hall. It just hasn't really been used, and we need the space in order to expand our 3D printing operations. So I'll have a lot of FDM printers in here, and then all the packing and sorting and stuff will be upstairs. And that's thanks to a partnership we're doing with Titan Forge. So they're working with us in order to make that happen, and even getting a COCast machine. So, you know, I may be jumping the gun by telling you this right now, but the plan is that we'll be able to print and sell Titan Forge miniatures as well, and possibly other brands that currently aren't printed and sold commercially. And we're going to be adding 20 resin printers right away. I believe with it's Anycubic 6KSs, which are nice workhorse machines. I'm not saying they're the best resin printers, but when you're running a print farm, you consider different things. Like you want no muss, no fuss, no coconuts, right?
We want stuff like this, and we want it from closer. This thing's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, is that, what is that?
It's a Ravaged Star miniature.
Oh, that's the new one.
Yeah.
Oh, we're showing this a little early. David's going to be making a video that'll be going out tomorrow about that. So big sneak peek. Pledge Manager will be opening on Friday, and there's new minis that you can add to your order that will be actually fulfilled for Wave 1, because they'll be done in COCast. These are 3D printed, but they're actually, the quality of 3D prints is pretty awesome too. So that's pretty neat. So big plans for the Forge, and now let's get our production assistants to come and get this table set up so we can take a look at how that's going to go. So we got some new tables that Adam has made, like this one. You may have already seen it in Battle Reports, but it's just epically awesome. I love it. So what we're going to do is we're going to prop it up a little higher because we've got other tables that I want to create that'll be coming down because we got 2 new tables. I'm going to be using one of the new ones and putting that there. Okay, so here's the plan. We're going to take these 2 and put them back. This one we're going to prop up with some of the risers, so you can bring the risers in, and then I'm going to come. You know what? Let's go. I'll show you which ones. Actually, I want each one of you grab one of these. Just make sure they're unlatched, delatched, dislatched, ill-latched.
Atomified.
Yeah, and follow me with those. And we're going to come over here. Open the door for these guys. Got to do my part, right?
Thank you.
I don't know if anybody's met Caleb yet. This is Caleb. Say hi, Caleb.
Hey guys.
This is yeah. Caleb is our latest 3D printing assistant. He's been working out pretty awesome. He's still technically temporary. I haven't officially made him permanent yet, but I'll tell you what. Hold on, let's just finish. Well, you're almost there. Just if he doesn't break it, we'll see what happens. This is his final test. Just hold on. Yeah. Okay. Neil.
Oh.
Caleb of the Cormics, of the mix. I now dub you permanent. Rise.
Awesome.
Permanent employee. Never to leave. Signing a contract till death do you part.
Or beyond.
You're like, well, whatever. And if we ever figure out how to animate dead, beyond death. Anyways, we're going to be using... let's grab this new table, and there's another new table with that big gouge in it. Where did that one go? Where'd you guys put it? You guys put it over here.
That big thing?
No, not that one. No, it should be a double table because it has a gouge. Double table. Where'd you put it?
I didn't put anything away, so I don't know.
No, that's Blood Bowl pitches. Those are Blood Bowl pitches. You know what? BRB, we'll find it. All right, we found it. So just show it to them for a second. We'll show it. So that's a big gouge right there. That goes down to resin water. So that's really cool. I want to play with that one today. So we're going to bring that back and we'll get this table set up. Yeah, so the plan is we'll have that table there. This one then goes there, and then we'll grab a riser. Is that the right height? Did he make a different height? Oh, no, that looks right. It looks right.
Put the riser under this.
Yeah, so then we'll put the riser into that one, which will bring it up. It latches on. So then you end up... So we're not using the new table for this one is what I decided, because the other one goes up. I'm telling the audience, not you.
Okay.
You can just put it there. So yeah, you can see this new table has this really deep gouge in it, which I just think is... Now, Adam is a bit of a dirtbag, because what he did is one day he just showed up with 3 more tables. He says, oh, while I was working on the commission that you asked me to do, I decided to do this. And he brings them in and he plops them down. And I'm just like, okay, I'll buy them.
They look awesome.
They look awesome. Stop doing this to me, Adam. Hold on, Caleb, you got to come to this side. Maybe I should turn this off and give you guys a hand. Here we go. Oh, Jeremy's just so strong. Look at him. Strong like bull. So you can kind of see how the tables work. It's not really a big mystery, but Adam basically built risers that match the height of the tables. So that way, and then these all have a uniform, sorry, I'm not even pointing at the right thing. So they all match the height of the tables, and these have the same uniform height. So every level is the same. And that way you can mix and match them, and he can build new tables. And then he's even added these latches. We actually got this idea. Oh, I wish I remember the name of the YouTube channel. It's a Spanish YouTube channel that was doing terrain. It was years, like 10 years ago. And they were doing like infinity boards and stuff. And they did something like this, and that's what gave me the idea. And we've been doing that ever since, because it just works. So now that you've latched all of them, the latches are there to kind of help with the line, because we find that they warp over time. And so, but look at that. Look at that landscape. Once we add some terrain, it'll be good to go. We're playing a narrative scenario for Warhammer 40k on here. Tyrannus versus something. I don't know what Scari's bringing, but we'll find out when the game goes. Like I said, thanks guys. For the Vault video, I'm going to be holding off on that one because I want to do, well, after every game, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but now 99% of the time when we play a game, as long as there's time afterwards and it hasn't gone late, we do a post game. But the post game, I've instructed everybody, they need to be more interesting than just like, here's what I could have done better. Because we're not playing competitively, we're playing mostly narratively. So discussion on how the list could have been better is kind of useless because we already know the list could be better. So it's more discussion on whatever topic of the day it is. So we're trying to make that more like a talk show and a more interesting, like good 20, 30-minute long discussions for our Vault members. So there will be one that will be filming with Scary. That'll have to kind of serve as the second one of this because it kind of covers both things. And what we're going to talk about is running narrative scenarios and like how to play 40K more narrative and how to kind of convince people to do that too, and the considerations you need to have when you do it so that you can have a good time. Because we love 40K when we play narrative. When we play just the regular missions, it's kind of whatever, but you play it narrative, it's a lot of fun. Let's go take a look upstairs. There's a couple more things I want to show you before we finish off this video. So we're heading back up. So there's a couple things I want to talk about. I want to talk about the state of our narrative campaigns. So I'll talk about that, and I want to talk about this. So for the past 5 years now, this has been a gaming hall / filming studio for us, and there's a store out front there as well. As of probably next month, the gaming hall will be shut down as a gaming hall. It'll still be a filming studio, and that is because as we expand our operations, I'm out of breath from going upstairs, getting old. Anyways, as we expand our operations for the printing side of things, we're running out of space for that. And the gaming hall is not really a moneymaker for us. The original intent was to be more of an events place, but when we opened up, COVID hit shortly after that and kind of killed the ability to grow that. And then once we were out of lockdowns and stuff, we'd moved on and we're kind of too busy with everything else that we were doing. And honestly, COVID really boosted our media side of things because everybody was trapped indoors. And so we really kind of pushed into that. And then Ravaged came along and just overall made it difficult to really want to get into running huge events all the time in such a way that you make money. So I'm going to sit down for this part. So it's almost like the end of an era there. I've already talked to the owner of the store and he's understanding. They were using the gaming hall, but not a lot anyways. And so it's not like a huge difference to them. They still have the store out front, at least for the foreseeable future. But yeah, we need to basically over there at the other end of the hall is where we're going to set up the new packing station. This is going to turn more into a warehouse, at least half of it. And we'll probably wall it off and use the other half for studio space because sometimes we need bigger rooms than what are available downstairs, especially when Dave does like his big showcase videos, like he did the big Chaos Space Marine one, the big Apocalypse game one. He's done the big Space Marine one. He's got plans for other ones like that too. You guys seem to really like those. They get the most views out of all of our videos and lots of good comments. And they actually reach out and get beyond our normal audience, which is evidenced by the comments of people like, "Get a life, nerd," which I think are hilarious. People coming in and being like, "Why would people want to do this?" And we're like, "Oh, you have no idea. Step behind the curtain, step over here, and I'll show you just how awesome this hobby really is." So it's kind of sad in a way. I feel there's some sadness I feel because running this place as a whole events place where like regular tournaments and narrative events and just other fun stuff was there's a lot of appeal to that, but it's just something that we're not really going to be getting into, at least not in any of the foreseeable future. So that's kind of a big announcement that's all changing. So let's go back to fun stuff though and talk about the Old World narrative campaign. So you may have seen this already because I've shown it off in some videos before. I haven't made like the video showing how it was made, but I've shown it behind the scenes. So this is an Old World map. This was 3D printed using the Hexton Hills range, but we printed them at 50% size. So you get this really nice granularity to it. And the fun thing is, is it going to focus? Come on. There we are. Now it's focusing. Yeah, it's just a gorgeous map. Adam from Greenleaf painted it, and he put it together. It took a long time to put it together and paint it, but it does look really awesome. But yeah, so we're planning a campaign. Luke is actually going to be manning and helming that campaign, and it's going to be kind of Total War Warhammer style. It's probably going to focus on like just one part of the map, and then we'll tell other narrative campaigns on other parts. And it'll just be like regular games of Old War, but with twists and restrictions and like it'll be interesting because things will die. We'll actually track armies. In fact, as we talk about it, let's go back and I'll show you some cool stuff that James has been working on to help with that campaign. Yeah, James has been a real asset because of his skills in Blender. He's able to quickly whip up things like, hey, I need these kind of tokens. I need this kind of thing. Like anything that's like geometric shapes and patterns and just like symbols and stuff, he can get that done like that. It's just crazy fast. And then he's got the skills to do things like bases. We'll keep pushing and growing his skills to see what else he can do, because he's still learning a lot of things. But let's go through here. Ooh, it's dark. Through a dark room, through a slightly less dark room, and into a less dark room. Hey, James, I'm doing an open vault behind the scenes, so hide anything that you're not allowed to show. It's funny, he looked around, but there wasn't really anything to hide.
Yeah, no, close.
Close your windows. So I was just talking about the Old World campaign and talking about the tokens. And so these are the tokens I was talking about. And so you made these, threw them together in Blender.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to make them? Just guesstimate.
About an hour, 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's it, eh?
Not long.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's cool. Like once you learn some basic Blender skills and kind of understand the concepts of 3D printing, and then you get a printer like this little A1 Mini, which has stuff on it. That's fine. It's fine.
You can see it.
Yeah.
Clear space.
Or you can get the P1P, but you do basically the A1 Mini comes with the ability to do up to 4 different colors. And so we just made one to represent the different armies, and then putting these Roman numerals so that there's 10 different ones. And so you're able to track individual armies. And because that's what we're going to do for the campaign, it's actually like the Age of Sigmar one was more abstract. So like if it was an area that was owned by Order, then you could bring any Order army that's 2,000 points, whatever. But this one is going to be like, no, this Wood Elf army, that's Wood Elves, right? The purple one, has exactly this. So you got to play with that. And if there's a mismatch in points, you can fill in the difference but we're going to have like restrictions. It's going to be like really, really like low-level guys with some disadvantages on top of that, just to show that they're just quickly being rallied. Maybe they're just conscripts from the local village. So we'll still play even points, but there's advantages to people who have the bigger army. Yeah, so he's just able to make these and then print them in the various colors. So these are not painted. Those are printed in multicolor. So maybe one day we'll do a video just kind of sitting down and watching you for half an hour. See if that half an hour thing is true or if it's just total BS. I think it's true because he usually does get them done fast. But yeah, so these are pretty cool. And then he's also designed them to have holes in the back. We'll throw these on the Forge at some point so that you can buy them. You can buy the STLs because like why not, right? Just throw the whole pack in there for $10 and you can print them yourself. Maybe even include the already pre-colored 3ML files if you want to use them in a printer that does multicolored, because it just saves you that step as well. It's not too hard to do it. Little tip right there, all you really do to save on your filament is you just have it transition to a color. Like it would be cooler if on the side it was black all the way up, right? Oh, maybe not, I don't know. I think it's pretty nice that way. So if you just have it transition there, because every time it transitions, it has to purge the old color and poop it out. And that's a big waste. It actually adds up to a lot of PLA, a lot of filament, if it's doing it quite often. So don't print with more than one color at the same time, because then it has to purge every single layer, and do something like this where it transitions. And that's nice and easy, because in this case, it's once it passes the black, transition to whatever other color you're printing, and away you go. Nice and easy. So those worked out really, really nice. And you can see that these are more of the bases. We're doing more tests with them as James gets those already. I already talked about those at the beginning of the video. So we got lots more coming. Little flash. Okay, there we are. If you can freeze that frame and it's not totally blurry, then you can see what's coming up. All right, I think that's all to talk about back here though, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Oh, and we'll end here in the server room, which is actually my office now. And just got to make sure there's nothing here that I can't show. So I'll just end here, and thank you very much for joining me in this open vault and what's going on behind the scenes. I got to go play a game of Scary in a little bit, so I need to go get that set up. So that battle report will probably be out in the next week or two. It should be a lot of fun though. Vanguard Tyranids is what I'm doing. So nothing but Gene Stealers and Lictors. I got a Winged Hive Tyrant, and we're playing one of the missions from the Pry Nexus book. So I strongly recommend, actually, if you're like, oh, I want to play narrative but don't know how. Honestly, here's the 10-second version. Play the narrative missions that Games Workshop makes. They're not balanced, and that's what makes them better than the balanced ones. Because the balanced ones, they're very predictable. So like everybody needs, if you're playing like the cards of the secondaries, which those are fun sometimes, but they force you to kind of build your army the same way every time. And so I'm getting ahead of myself because we're going to have this full discussion of it. But essentially, if you play those missions, it allows you to bring different compositions, themed compositions, and if your opponent really plays with the theme as well, then you can have a lot of fun. But it's not going to be balanced. Somebody's going to get their butt kicked. But as long as you're playing narratively, you've told a story, and that's way more interesting. So anyways, that's how I like to play games. So maybe I'm just old. What about you? You know what? Leave a comment below. If you've made it this far into the video, how do you like to play games? Like not how do you play games, because maybe you're forced to play match play because that's what everybody around you does. But if you had a choice, and obviously I realize the answer is, for most people, they want a variety, right? But what would kind of be at the top of that frequent flyer list of what you played? So it's like you mixed different types of styles, like mega games. Let's talk like mega games. Not just, you don't have to use the rules of Apocalypse. Maybe you just play 40K or AOS or Old World, but you love to play them at 5,000 points or 3,000 points or whatever it is. Or do you prefer like playing them at 500 points or 1,000 points? Or do you prefer, this could be an and or, do you prefer narrative versus more competitive? Do you prefer the missions that Games Workshop puts out that are match play, or do you prefer the narrative ones? Do you like to make your own missions? Do you like to use other people's? Do you like, if you could really choose and you had the people around you that would be able to support it, how would you play? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, because I'm interested actually to see kind of, at least the viewership that we have, what do they respond to? So leave that below. Thanks for joining me on this open vault behind the scenes. Don't forget links below for everything. Happy wargaming.